Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Agent Call review. If you are new here, I do these, or I at least try to do these every single Monday. So that way you guys can get a little insight as to how other people are handling calls, handling objections, and maybe not handling objections. It's always important to have your mentor listen to your calls, critique them, rip them apart. It's better if they find every single hole and you work on every single hole than for you to think that you're doing the right thing over and over and over again when it sounds like crap. The motto to listening to calls is we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence isn't an act, it's a habit. Do me a favor, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know where your struggle is, if anything. Let's get into it.
Hello?
Hey, George.
Who's calling?
Yeah, George, I have your request here. You were looking for options on final expense burial insurance.
I was looking for what?
For burial insurance, you put your
I can't understand what you're saying.
grandson, burial insurance, life insurance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah. So you put here your beneficiary as your email I have here, right?
That's what it is.
Okay, perfect. So if you could tell me a little bit about your situation, how long have you been looking?
Well, I just started, so I wanted some supplementary insurance.
Okay, so you currently have something in place. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. So how much do you currently have?
25.
All right. And you're trying to add an extra 10, or what are you trying to?
Probably an extra 5.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Understood. And now you say you just started looking here. Is there any reason why you haven't put something in place? You haven't found something?
No specific reason now.
Okay, perfect. So just to explain how I can help you here, I'm a broker in this state. So there's about companies, and my goal is to shop them all so I could get you qualified for the best rate. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, and now these extra, that you want a total of 30,000. Is it for burial or cremation?
I can't make up my mind which one I'd like. I don't know which one I'd want. Not that I would know the difference, but I just don't know which one. I'll say burial one day, next day I'll say cremation. I'm not sure.
All right, I understand. Well, that's okay. I just asked so I can understand better your situation, and I'm guessing you want to leave a little bit more behind for your. Is that why you want an extra 5 now? Okay, perfect. So since you've been down this road before, you might know that all life insurance is based on 2 things. One is age, the other one is health. So what is your date of birth?
I thought you have everything in front of you.
I do not have your date of birth here.
Okay.
I just have what do you say? I'm sorry? Okay, you're old. You're still young. We still got at least years to go, huh? And I have here your height. You put, is that accurate? Okay, perfect. So let me put that in here. All right. Now, and in terms on your budget, do you have anything in mind? Like you don't want to go above, let's say, $50 a month, $60 a month?
You just give me a rate and I'll let you know.
All right, so we're about halfway through the call now, and a few minor things to talk about. A couple of things to work on is her opening. She paused after saying the name instead of, "Hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Ryan. I was giving you a call about the request you put in," so forth and so on. So you definitely want to make sure that you're nailing down that intro. That is the first thing, your first foot in the door of creating confidence, trust, and being that authority figure that I always talk about. She did a great job noticing that she wanted to supplement or add to what she currently has. Now, what I would suggest that she says instead of asking, well, how much do you currently have? Because that's really irrelevant at the moment. Really, you want to understand what this is all about. Once you understand what it's all about, then you can dig into the details. And oftentimes, if you figure out what they're looking for, they'll tell you how much they have without you asking. That is a true secret in sales by getting answers without actually having to ask the question. Although you want to be inquisitive of what they're looking for, it's always good to ask a question that's going to lead into more of an answer. You can actually ask it in a couple different ways. Okay, so you're saying you actually have coverage in place, Mrs. Jones. Are you looking to add to that, or are you just trying to save some money on what you currently have? Another even more open way to ask is, so what's got you looking into more coverage? So a question like that can easily lead a prospect down a rabbit hole of, okay, I'm wanting to add more because I just don't feel like I've got enough for when I do that time finally comes. Or the other scenario is well, I'm actually looking to save a little bit of money on what I currently have. It's almost that assumptive question statement that draws them into correcting you. Well, another thing that I did notice is that she's kind of having some issues hearing her or understanding her. My best suggestion here would be to take a quick breath and slow down. It is her accent a little bit that is probably affecting it, and that's okay. Her accent isn't bad. I definitely don't think it's a bad thing in this situation. I just think that a better thing would be to slow down a little bit. But man, I really gotta point out everyone should be hearing how she's conversating with her. This lady definitely seems skeptical. He asked for her date of birth, and she said, well, you already have that. That shows a sign of skepticism that you have to notice so that way you can course correct yourself. But again, she does a phenomenal job by connecting with the client. She kind of laughs with her and sounds pretty happy. That's always really important. You never want to be too over the top with laughing and laughing hysterically or anything like that. But a good chuckle definitely helps a client relax a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let me take a look here. I do have to go over a couple of hot questions. These are going to be quick questions. It's just a yes or no, okay? Do you
Okay.
smoke? Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, I'll put that in. Thank you. All right, I already put that in here. Let's take a look here. Now, all these companies are linked with the Social Security billing. So when do you get your social? Is it the first or the third of the month or one of the Wednesdays? The
Third.
third? Okay. So what we will do, we will just set the payment for the third of every month. In this case, if we agree on the price, then it will be September the 3rd, and then all recurring payments will be the 3rd of each month. Okay?
Okay.
Let me take a look here at the different companies. And is this something that you get on your checking account or you have the debit direct express card?
No checking account.
Okay. So I just add that because there are more companies available if you put the checking account rather than the direct express card. Okay, so I have here for 5,000. I have this company for 30 a month.
30 a month. Well, how much would it be for 10?
Then I'll give you here for, let me give you here for 10. Are you writing this down so I can?
Okay. How much would it be for 10?
Okay, so for 10 here, I have 50, 52. I have 52 for 10.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, give me a call Monday at the same time, and I'll let me think about it over the weekend. Give me a call Monday around the same time. Okay?
So Monday around 1, I have you.
All right, so as you can hear, she asked her to call her back on Monday because she wants to think about it. Largely, I would say that's largely due to the fact that she didn't really work her enough. She allowed her to take her directly to quote. Now I can understand, kind of where sometimes it's a fine line of how long do you or how much do you push back on somebody. Like in this case, she could have pushed back whenever she mentioned, well, the budget doesn't matter. You tell me the price and I'll tell you if it works. When someone pushes back like that, it can be a double-edged sword. But sometimes it is better to push back, even if they do wind up hanging up, because if they're going to hang up over something like that because you are truly trying to help them, then they're probably a suspect to begin with. That is the thing you've got to keep in mind. The demographic of people that we're speaking to, in most cases, um, really just want to get down to the point, but it's important for them to understand all aspects of what they're looking at because they really can't make a decision otherwise. And she doesn't even know what she's thinking about because that could have been for term, it could have been for whole life, could have been for an IUL. You just don't know, right? So you want to definitely cover that point. Not the end of the world. I think I would say probably the biggest problem is she really lost trust, or the client lost trust in her. Um, uh, again, she wasn't quite following, and you could tell like there was just an uneasiness. So she was trying to rush it. One last suggestion that I would have is when it comes to someone having existing coverage, instead of asking the question of, so the monthly payment is going to be due, or they're going to require an automatic monthly payment. And with that, is that going to be coming from a checking or a direct express card? Instead of asking it that way, she's already got coverage. So, Mrs. Jones, your current coverage is automatically coming out of your checking account every month, right? So you can walk her into just agreeing with the situation, with the checking question, and you don't have to actually ask. And you don't actually have to ask it in the standard way. So, just an easier way to get that information. Again, avoid creating more distrust, especially in this case where there was definitely a lack of trust. Anyway, guys, it was a great call. She did great laughing and being jovial with the client. That's really, really important. That really helps with clients becoming comfortable with you. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, endurance is not just the ability to bear a hard thing, but to turn it into glory. See you guys in the next one.